In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create highly valuable, effective voice AI agent prompts instantly using Claude 4 projects. So I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step guide on how to use Claude 4, all the files, instructions, everything you need to be able to create instant, effective, valuable voice AI agent prompts. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video and I'll show you exactly how to do this. Okay, and the first thing that you want to do is you want to go into Claude.ai and go into the projects. Now, the main reason why we can do this and why we don't even need to write these voice AI agent prompts anymore is we can just give AI to create prompts for AI, right? So we don't even need to write any of this. We can give it specific instructions. We can give it files and knowledge to create these voice AI agents. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go over to the project section. So you want to create a new project. Now, I've already got this prompter that I use for all my voice AI agent prompts to create it instantly. And obviously, you can add some details in it to tweak it, but this is exactly what you want to do. So you want to come into projects right here, and there's going to be a few things you need to configure before you can get this up and running. Now, this is going to be quite a quick video just to show you, a useful tip for prompting these voice AI agents. Now, first of all, is going to be the instructions. Now, of course, if you do want all of these resources that I've used in the video, I'm going to link it down below in the link description. It's going to be in my free school community. I'm going to be providing you with the instructions, the files, the setup, everything that you need to go ahead and create these highly realistic voice AI agent prompts. And then I'll show you actually how to put it into, a voice AI platform as well. So first of all, these are going to be the project instructions. So you're a voice AI prompt engineer specializing in high quality professional prompts for voice-based AI systems. Your expertise lies in crafting prompts that result in natural conversation and effective voice interactions across various industries and use cases. Now, obviously, we're going to give it some input. We're going to give it the output. We're going to tell it how to actually format these prompts. And then right here, this is going to be the section for markdown formatting. So the reason why I put this, in the first part is if you watch my video about actually prompting, the most important things go in the first part and in the last part as well. So right here, this is just a section on letting the AI agent know that it needs to be in markdown formatting. Now, this can actually get a little bit confusing because sometimes the AI will output its output in, markdown or, in bold or heading or lists. We don't want that, right? We want it as plain text for our own AI in retail or our own LLM that we're building in the voice agent. So then it can see that format. So it might get a little bit confusing. So this is that step right here. And we've told the AI agent when you're generating a prompt, you must output it in plain text only. Do not use any markdown formatting. This means no bolding, no italics, no headings, nothing, right? So I was experimenting with this before when I originally created this. It was actually giving it to me in bold and italics, right? So putting this here ensures that we have it in not of the output of markdown formatting, if that makes sense, right? So you'll see kind of how that works later on in the video. So again, no italics. The entire response must be in a single unformatted text string. The goal is to ensure the output is ready to be used in a system that does not support or correctly interpret markdown. So again, just letting the AI agent know the output. Core objectives. So create a comprehensive voice AI agent prompt that follows the industry's best practices. Structure every prompt output using the mandatory 5-section format. Reference the prompting guide provided in your knowledge base for optimal formatting. Apply voice-specific techniques from the tips and tricks documentation, and then ensure conversational flow and natural speech patterns in all generated prompts. Now, if we just save these instructions right here, I'll show you kind of some of those of those things right here. So, structure every prompt using the mandatory 5-section prompt formatting. So, if we go right here, this is going to be this document that I recently did a video on. And again, we're giving this to Claude to show it how to effectively structure prompts. So essentially, this is just an in-depth guide on, how to structure the prompts using the role, task, chain of thought, specifics, context, examples, notes, and markdown formatting and dynamic variables as well. So again, we're giving this to Claude via, a PDF file right here. We're putting it into the knowledge, and it's going to use that every single time in reference to let it know how its output should be and how to structure all of its voice, all of its prompts right here. So that's going to be that document right there, and that's what Claude's going to be doing kind of in the background as well. So Then we can do apply voice-specific techniques from the tips and tricks documentation. So this is going to be this right here, which is a guide from Vappy on some of the tips and tricks to crafting these voice prompts. So not only are we giving it the correct format and everything, we're also giving it some extra context and extra knowledge about some of the formatting right here. So again, this is just from Vappy right here on how to actually craft, effective prompts right here. And this is going to enhance our prompts and the output that it gives it. So we can see right there, and then we've also got an example prompt output. So this is just a highly formatted example prompt that we have, from the AI agent. So it's going to be using this in its knowledge and context, and referencing it constantly to create these outputs right here. So we go back into the instructions right here. So the objectives, and ensure every conversational flow using natural speech patterns. So again, that's just more prompt engineering. So that's going to be all of our files right here. Is going to be the Vappy guide, the perfect prompt formula over there, and then also an example prompt output as well. And then down here is a markdown syntax guide. So again, we're letting the AI agent know, obviously, how to structure the prompts using the markdown syntax guide. So again, this is just a way that we can actually show the LLM to have more effective and structured prompts. So we can see we've got headings, we've got lists, we've got all these different types of things that we can use in the prompts to further enhance our prompts. So again, I've just added this as a guide that I've got literally from here. I pasted it in and put it in Claude. So now Claude can reference this to create effective markdown prompts, right? So that's also the other file that we have in here. So if we go back to the instructions, and I'll read quickly through it, and then I'll put in a prompt. And I'll go ahead and show its output as well. And of course, if you do want all of this, I'm going to leave it down below in the link description. You can go ahead and paste it in from there. And then mandatory output structure. So every prompt you must create follow this 5-section format in Markdown. So role, task, specifics, context, example, and note. So again, we're just adding a little bit more context around that. Also using that perfect prompt formula right there. And then from there, down there, we've got voice AI best practices. So again, just prompting Claude a little bit more to, make sure that it has some conversational aspects in there. Prompting guidelines. When creating prompts, you must consult the prompting guide in your knowledge base. So again, just more prompting engineering to make sure it uses those files that we have attached to, reference to create these prompts. So, yeah, right there, apply tips and tricks from the documentation for enhanced conversational flow, better caller engagement, improved qualification processes, professional call handling, and ensure markdown formatting throughout the prompt. Quality assurance checklist. So before delivering any prompt, verify that you have these things. So again, more prompt engineering in the structuring. So all 6 mandatory sections are present while it is properly formatted. The role is clearly defined. Tasks include a step-by-step workflow format. Specifics address technical and procedure details. The context provides necessary background and constraints. Example conversation, so realistic and natural dialogue. Notes include critical limitations and standards. So again, if you copy and paste this, you'll get all of this completely for free, and you just go ahead and do it. But again, this just goes in detail and gives Claude all the context and information it needs to create these prompts, essentially, right? And then we've got important notes, and then format character escaping. This is also really important. So for all the headings, use a single backlash. So again, this is just letting the AI agent know to how to output it in plain text, right? Because sometimes it'll actually output it, which is what I'll show you. I'll show you down below in the previous conversations what it was doing. So I just added this in here. For all headings, use a single backlash before the hash mark to render the literal hash characters. So for example, and you know what, I'll just show you really. So if we go down to here, we can see the output was like this, right? So it was actually, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to doing, right? We don't have the hashtag in here. We only have it as the output of what the LLM would be seeing, right? So adding that in will then give us the hashtag that we need in front. Because if you think about it, we're going to be copying and pasting this into Retail or Vappy or whatever platform we're using, right? So this doesn't have the hashtags in there. So we need to prompt the agent to put it in plain text only with no bold letters. So we come back out to here, come back in the instructions. So again, that's just going to be some of those things right there. So now you kind of understand what we've done to Claude, all the files that we've used, all the prompting that we're using to reference the files, to now create these voice AI agent prompts. And this is, how comprehensive you can really get within these things. And then a few other things right here. We have some, settings in Claude. So again, we've got extended thinking. So again, this is part of a pro plan. I believe I'm using a free account in this video just to show you, but extended thinking will allow Claude to think out loud for longer, for trickier questions. So again, just adding more reasoning behind Claude as well. Style right here is going to be in concise. This is really important as well, to make sure that the style that it outputs is going to be very concise, and it's going to follow all of our instructions exactly as well. So again, that's the style that Claude's going to be writing in, because we need our prompts to be concise, but also, you know, very informational and straight to the point. So that's going to be the writing style right here. And then the model we're using is just going to be 4. You can use 4.1. Actually, that's going to be a pro plan. You can use 4.1 or 4. It doesn't really matter since we've prompted it quite well. 4.1 is going to be a little bit more powerful, and its output is going to be stronger because it has stronger reasoning. But 4 or 4.1, you know, is plenty. Is, you know, more than enough really. So let's go ahead and switch onto we'll do 4.1 actually for this example. But yeah, that's going to be some of the settings around there. So now let's go ahead and give it a prompt. Now I'm going to be using a tool called Whisperflow. It's essentially a transcription tool that I can do, but this would be an example of how I would put in a prompt for our prompter to then put it into another prompt, right? So I'm going to say, you know, what tools it should use, what specific information it should add, the business is for. So this is exactly kind of what I would do. So can you please create me a prompt for a salon? The salon will effectively identify the type of service and greet the caller. It'll check availability in the calendar. It'll book appointments as well. And it's going to be for, you know, a nice luxury, prestige, you know, upmarket salon in this prompt, please. Thank you. So again, you can just use natural conversational language. Again, you know, this is kind of what you need. You need the tools, obviously, that it's going to be using. So this is going to input it in the prompt, so we can then later go ahead and put it into retail and a bunch of other things. So let's go ahead and click it right here, and you can kind of see what its response is going to be and everything. So you can see it's thinking about it. It's going to be crafting it right here. Let's just give it a second. So you can see beautiful, right? It's got that markdown formatting right there in the role. It's used that nice double header for that task. It's got some of those asterisks right there. It's got dynamic variables even. And again, you can also go ahead and add more detail to the prompt initially if you want a better response. But that was quite a simple one. So you can see, you know, how good this prompt is, right? It's followed our format easily. It's followed the task. It's got the specifics right there. It's got those asterisks for those points, which is beautiful. It's got the context. So again, you can really go ahead and play around with this, but you can see the output that Claude is allowing it to provide. Now, I would use Claude in most cases. I find it's actually the best LLM for writing these kind of prompts in detail. It's got an example conversation and everything. So again, that's really it. You can see everything right here, and it's exempling this prompt. So usually what I would do is I would then go ahead and copy and paste this, and then I'll put it into, you know, Retail AI right here. So we can see, if we come out, we can create an agent, we can put it in voice agent, single prompt agent, create it. And then let's go ahead and paste that in. And you can see right here that we have a prompt already go. We don't even need to do anything. All we would need to do is configure the tools, configure some of the dynamic variables. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to, you know, quickly jump on here and create this to show you how useful it can be to automatically create prompts really instantly. And of course, you can put anything you want in here. You can tell it anything you want it to do. You can add more detail for these prompts. Usually I go ahead and add more detail. But of course, if you are a business owner and you are looking for AI systems inside your business, or you have any questions about AI and how it can be implemented, feel free to book a discovery call in the link in the description below. And yeah, of course, if you do want all these free resources down below, I'm going to leave it in the link in the description. Without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.